Hello. Today's lesson is Chapter 19, Global Human Resource Management. Learning objectives for us today are summarize the strategic role of human resource management in international business.
Sounds great.
Identify the pros and cons of different approaches to staffing policy in international business. Explain why managers may fail to thrive in foreign postings, and recognize how management development and training programs can increase the value of human capital in an international business firm, and explain how and why performance appraisal systems might vary across nations. Understand how and why compensation systems might vary across nations, and understand how organized labor can influence strategic choices in international business firms. In our introduction, here we go. We're going to talk about human resource management, human resource strategy, staffing, including expatriate managers, human resource management, human resource strategy, staffing, and expatriate managers. The strategic role of global HRM, managing a global workforce. HRM, human resource management, a strong link with profitability. It has a critical impact on the people, culture, incentive, and control system elements of the firm's organizational architecture. It also tends to be weak in multinational organizations and must be congruent with the firm's strategy. And here we have a chart of human resource and shaping organizational architecture. You see that in the middle is responsible for all the people, and then you have the different culture, processes, structure, incentives, and controls. And human resources is responsible for these aspects of organizational architecture. Staffing policy. Selecting individuals who have the skills required to do particular jobs. The tools for developing and promoting the desired corporate culture of the firm must be in place, and you must be educated in those strategies and skill sets in order to train people. Corporate culture can help firm and implement its strategy, because corporate culture is definitive in terms of what the company is all about, and there are established norms within the company that people must get familiar with. Different types of staffing policies include the ethnocentric approach, where key management positions are filled by parent country nationals. Companies use this policy because a firm may believe host country lacks qualified individuals to fill senior management positions. Firms may also see an ethnocentric staffing policy as the best way to maintain a unified corporate culture. The firm may believe that the best way to transfer core competencies is to transfer parent country nationals who have knowledge of that competency to the foreign operation. The ethnocentric approach limits advancement opportunities for host country nationals. It also results in resentment, lower productivity, and increased turnover in that group. And it could lead to something called cultural myopia, which basically is short-sightedness from a cultural standpoint. The polycentric approach. Host country nationals are recruited to manage subsidiaries, while parent country nationals occupy key positions at corporate headquarters. Firm is less likely to suffer from cultural myopia. It also may be less expensive than an ethnocentric approach. Host country nationals have limited opportunities to gain experience outside their own country, and thus cannot progress beyond senior positions within their own subsidiaries. It also can lead to a lack of integration between corporate headquarters and foreign subsidiaries. The geocentric approach seeks the best people for key jobs throughout the organization, regardless of nationality. It also makes the best use of the firm's human resources. It also builds a cadre of international executives who feel at home working in many cultures. Firms may be better able to create value from the pursuit of excellence curve and location economies, and from the multi-directional transfer of core competencies. It also tends to reduce cultural myopia and to enhance local responsiveness. But, caveat here, it can be expensive to implement. Comparison of staffing approaches. Here's a chart on that. You have ethnocentric, which would be international. You have polycentric, which would be localization. Geocentric, which would be global standardization, and transnational. Expatriate managers, well, they're used by ethnocentric and geocentric staffing policies. Impatriates are a subset of expatriates who are citizens of a foreign country working in the home country of their multinational employer. Expatriate failure rates, it results in premature return from a foreign posting and high resignation rates. There's a high cost to that. There's reasons for U.S. managers' failure when they go overseas. Number one, inability of spouse to adjust. Number two, manager's inability to adjust. Three would be other family problems. Four, manager's personal or emotional maturity. And five, inability to cope with larger overseas responsibilities. Expatriate selection. Reduce expatriate failures by improving selection procedures. The four dimensions that predict success: self-orientation, others orientation, perceptual ability, and cultural toughness. The global mindset is a fundamental attribute of a global manager. It can deal with high levels of complexity and ambiguity and displays openness to the world. The global mindset of Americans. This question deals with your own global mindset in general, as it is today and what you expect or hope will be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and 20 years from now, with 100% indicating a complete global mindset, meaning that you act and behave as a global citizen in everything you do. So there's some questions here. How strong is your global mindset? How strong do you think your global mindset will be in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, etc.? Training and management development. Training versus development. Training gives expatriate managers skills for the foreign posting. Development is intended to develop the manager's skills over his or her career with the firm. New emphasis on general management development programs, and is now seen as an important strategic tool. Cultural training. It seeks to foster an appreciation for the host country's culture, history, politics, economy, religion, and social and business practices. Familiarization trip to the host country to ease culture shock. Language training. Exclusive reliance on English diminishes an expatriate manager's ability to interact with host country nationals. So a willingness to communicate in the language of the host country improves effectiveness drastically. Practical training. This is aimed at helping expatriate manager and family ease themselves into day-to-day life in the host country. A support network of friends, often an expatriate community, is also a benefit. Repatriation of expatriates should be seen as the final link in the integrated process. They often face challenges at the home organization, including not having a job that uses their new skills. HRM should develop good programs for reintegrating expatriates back into work life within their home country organization. Management, development, and strategy. Ongoing management education is important. Rotation of managers through numbers of jobs within the firm to give them varied experience. Increasingly used as a strategic tool, and it helps build informal management network in a firm. Performance appraisal problems. Well, there's something called unintentional bias. Both host nation managers and home office managers are subject to bias. Distance and lack of experience working abroad by home country managers. And home office managers are often not aware of what is going on in a foreign operation, and they tend to rely on hard data in evaluating performance. And these are performance appraisal problems that you see. Reducing bias. This is guidelines for improved performance appraisal. Give more weight to an on-site manager's appraisal than to an off-site manager's appraisal. Home office managers should be consulted before an on-site manager completes a formal termination evaluation. Compensation. There are national differences in compensation. U.S. CEOs earn on average roughly double the pay of non-U.S. CEOs. Should the firm pay executives in different countries according to the prevailing standards in each country, or should it equalize pay on a global basis? More of a problem in geocentric staffing. Many firms now moving toward consistent global standards. Expatriate pay, a balance sheet approach, includes a base salary, a foreign service premium, and allowances of various types, tax differentials, and benefits, and also attempts to provide expatriates with the same standard of living in their host countries as they enjoy at home, plus a financial inducement. Here's the balance sheet approach to expatriate pay. You have a home country salary, and then you have assignment location costs, and then location costs paid by company from salary, and home country equivalent purchasing. Base salary, same range as the base salary for a similar position in the home country, normally paid in either the home country currency or in the local currency. But there also is a foreign service premium, extra pay the expatriate receives for working outside of their country of origin. And it's also an inducement to accept foreign postings. Expatriate pay also includes allowances for hardship, housing, cost of living, education. In addition, taxation. You may have to pay income tax to both home and host country governments. The benefits, same level of medical and pension benefits abroad as at home. How do you build a diverse global workforce? Well, there's a lot of reasons a diverse workforce may improve performance. Diverse talents bring insights into the needs of a diverse customer base. An enterprise with a homogeneous employee base is underutilizing talent found among women and minorities. Customers may appreciate interacting with an enterprise whose employees look like them and therefore have a better understanding of their needs, tastes, and preferences. It also may improve the brand of an enterprise. It also increases employee satisfaction, which results in higher productivity. Steps to take. Understand that diversity efforts represent a type of organizational change and should be driven from the top. Top managers must create a clear value proposition that identifies the benefits of building a diverse and inclusive structure. Managers must set clear goals, not quotas, for what they would like to achieve, identify the gap between the current situation and the desired state, and measure performance improvements over time. Managers should be held accountable for attaining global diversity goals and reward those who hit or exceed the goals. And lastly, hiring and promoting should include people from diverse backgrounds. Diversity workshops. Overcome the subconscious biases and stereotyping that may lead to discrimination against minority employees. Role-playing. Reminding people about biases. Helping people focus on differences to reduce stereotyping. And recruit all genders and minority groups. Adjust work policies to foster a more diverse workforce. International labor relations. The concerns of organized labor. The company can counter its bargaining power with the power to move production to another country. The company will keep highly skilled tasks in its home country and farm out only low-skilled tasks to foreign plants. Attempts to import employment practices and contractual agreements from its home country may also reduce its power. The strategy of organized labor includes the responses to three actions: trying to establish international labor relations, lobbying for national legislation to restrict multinationals, and trying to achieve international regulations on multinationals through such organizations as the United Nations. The international trade secretariats are largely unsuccessful, and they cause competition between national unions, and there's also a wide variation in union structure. Centralized. This trend is toward greater centralized control and is used to increase competitive advantage. Trends and HRM. This is a 360 view. Globalization has required business to adopt more geocentric approach toward staffing policy. Worldwide movement toward greater ethnic and gender diversity has made it more important for international businesses to build a diverse workforce. Shift toward greater economic nationalism may affect HR strategy in the future. And tougher policies toward legal immigration may make it more difficult to move talent around the world. I thank you for listening.